Hello, this is Kym Watson of Easy Trader. This is an exclusive review of the key economic news events that are due to be released this week. So, the big story is really the European flash CPI, UK and US GDP, FOMC statement, and of course the non-farm payrolls report. So, some real key numbers coming out there. It's the beginning of the busiest week, or the busiest week of the month, but it is spread out because of the dates, how it rolls over this month. So we've got this week and next week having some key reports coming through. Also in the background, I say in the background, it's not in the background for those that live there, but obviously we've got the Ukraine situation that keeps on running, and until that is settled, it would suggest there's always the tension there, which could create unease throughout Europe. Looking then as we go ahead, Monday 28th of April, no significant news results. There's just the US pending home sales, which really does not create much in the way of volatility these days, at the moment I should say. Tuesday we got the UK prelim GDP 9:30. This is one of the most significant numbers of the week. Of course, it's just not the headline figure of 0.9, which is expected, but instead it's the detail that goes behind it. So often we may see an initial move followed by a move either in the opposite direction or a continuation as analysts pick through the detail. Wednesday, we got quite a few key numbers coming out. The most important in the morning is the Euro Flash CPI figure coming out at 10 o'clock. Now, there are some figures coming out prior to this. The German figures are already out as I record this, but there's some figures coming out which will swing the markets a little bit. There's an expectation that if the CPI continues to reduce or fall, inflation keeps on falling in Europe, that the extraordinary measures may be needed sooner rather than later. But Draghi has already suggested that this could be there could be a while before these are actually implemented. So we may get a blip, we may get some good volatility around the time, but I should say there are some analysts still believing that the meeting next week will force this result will force the meeting next week a little bit, but we'll have to wait and see on that. US ADP non-farm payrolls at 115. This is a real non-mover these days. The employment report is sort of, or as a whole, on the headline figure, has been taken off the radar to a degree. I mean, it's still a massively important figure and data to come out. However, the weightings reduced on it as it was taken off the forward guidance by the FOMC, so it has been reduced somewhat from that point of view, but the content of it and the detail behind Friday's non-farm payrolls will still be watched, and there may be should be some good volatility around that, but we'll come to that in a moment. Aside of that, we've got US advanced GDP. This is important at 130. There's some big expectations sitting around these sort of figures. I believe the US economy expanded at annual rate of around about 2.6 in the last quarter of 2013. There's the pace of growth expected to reflect the bad winter, possibly, but there's some hoping that we'll see a good spring and see some growth there, so it should create some volatility. Again, we got then the US FOMC statement. Can be a real good mover. We sometimes see some significant moves off this. Last month was a good one when the Fed chief Yellen suggested that interest rates could be increased earlier than anticipated, and as such we saw the sort of beginning of the rest of the month at that time reflected, and we saw a continued move. Now, it's unlikely there'll be any changes in the current situation there. So, but as I say, there could be some good volatility. Moving on then to Thursday, we've got Europe mostly on holiday with a May Day bank holiday, which they take midweek. So the only figures really in the morning, which could be a quieter than normal morning, and I know some people will wince at that with the low volatility we've seen of late. But the UK manufacturing figures come out at 9:30, and it could be the figure, and then I won't be surprised if we see an even flatter morning than normal. Now, Friday the 2nd, we've then got the UK construction PMI, again one of the key figures reported during the month. The only thing with both these PMI figures is we had a period of really good growth when we used to get much bigger volatility. The volatility has dropped off as the growth has leveled off. We're seeing this sort of more of a plateau of growth here, and the expectation is you're comparing this year with last year, which is the rate of growth is reducing, and as such the effect of these figures is falling, and the volatility around these figures may fall somewhat. However, I'll still be looking for the potential of trading these figures. And then in the afternoon on Friday, we got the US non-farm payroll. So, as I say, not as major as it was, but still at 1:30. That is, I should type that on there for you. 1:30, significant number still in the afternoon there. Okay, so quite a busy week ahead with a bank holiday in between, but still with some key numbers coming out. Hope you have a great week. Bye for now.